Hey, this is Steve with Technoformer. So today I'm going to be looking at another cheap device that I got off of Amazon. This time it's the Chinese-made GT08 smartwatch. It's a basic smartwatch. It was like 18 bucks on Amazon. And what it does is it lets you receive notifications on your wrist. You can send and receive calls, send and receive text messages right from the watch itself, paired through your phone, or with a SIM card. It's got a SIM card slot in it. It's got a micro SD, and I've used it for about a week. And I'm going to give you a review and some of my opinions on the functionality of it. So let's go ahead and get into the review. All right, so starting off with a little bit of the specs, the phone has a 1.5-inch OGS capacitive touchscreen. It's got the MTK6260A processor. That is actually a pretty common processor on these cheap smartwatches. It also has a front-facing 0.3 megapixel camera that you can actually take pictures right on this. The camera is, as you would imagine, pretty bad, but you know, it works. It's got a 360 megahertz processor. The resolution of the screen is 240 by 240 pixels. It's got 64 megabytes of RAM. It's got 128 megabytes of ROM built in. You can't actually access this ROM, but when you synchronize your contacts and stuff like that, it does write some things to that, but you can't access that for taking pictures or anything like that. That is where that micro SD card comes in. You pop that in there. It supports up to 32 gigabytes card, and then you can save your music, your pictures, whatever to that. It also supports GSM and GPRS 850, 900, 1800, 1900 with the SIM card in there. The problem I had was I'm on T-Mobile in the US and I was not able to get it to work with the SIM card. I put the SIM card in, it recognized I was on T-Mobile, but when I tried to go out to any sites, when I tried to use the Facebook or WhatsApp or Twitter app that's on there, it wouldn't bring up the site. It said site unavailable. Or could not retrieve site, something along those lines. I just could not get it to work, but it claims that it does work with a SIM, so we'll take that for what it is. So let's go ahead and get into, not an unboxing, but showing you what's in the box. So this is the box it comes in, pretty basic. It's got a set of instructions in there that has English and what I assume is Chinese. Not much padding in here, but to be honest, it doesn't really need it. The watch came wrapped in just this plastic bag, and it comes with the micro USB charging cable. It's a real small one. You can use any generic cable that you have, which is nice. At least it's not a proprietary charging port that you have to buy some funky adapter for. You can use whatever you have. So that's that. The watch itself, obviously they took a lot of design cues from the Apple Watch. It's pretty much a rip-off of it. It's a lot thicker. It's not as nice, obviously, but it looks very similar. The button on the side, you know, on the Apple Watch, you can rock it to move through the menus. This doesn't do anything except it powers on, powers off, and it's a back button. That's pretty much it. Along the side, we have speaker, microphone, and in here is the micro USB port, which is nice again, just standard micro USB. Now, if I can figure out how to get the back open, there's a notch in one of the corners. Here it is. You just stick your finger in there and or fingernail, pop it open. It just pops right off. Inside here we have the battery, which is a 350 milliamp per hour battery. It is removable, so if you can find replacements, you can always carry a charged one with you. In here we have the micro SD card slot, where I have just a 512 card in there for the purposes of this demo, and the SIM slot. So I'm going to put all this back together, and then we'll go ahead and power it on and show you some of the functionality of it. And this cover only goes back on one way, so it just snaps back on. This is not waterproof at all, or even water resistant, I'm sure. You can see some pretty big gaps, so you know, you probably even need to be careful washing your hands. So we'll go ahead and power this on, And it actually boots up really quick, gives you a little splash screen for just a few seconds. And there we go, it's all booted up. So I've previously paired it with my phone and it should try to connect. Yep, there we go, it's connected to my phone. And it's asking me if I want to synchronize the time. I do. And there we go, it's all synchronized. So when the phone powers off and you power it back on, or just put it to sleep and wake it, you're presented with the watch face. This phone has 3 watch faces included in it. There's this one, and this one. That's it. You change them by tapping the center of the screen. That's all you got. There's no option to load additional watch faces on there. That's kind of what you're stuck with. So swiping from that first screen, we have the splash screen, which shows us, or the initial home screen, which shows us the time, the date, some information about the battery life of the device. It's connected by Bluetooth. And then we can make and receive calls, get into our text messaging, menu, and home. So I'm going to go in here, and if you come into here, you can type a number, and you can dial directly from here. Because of the speaker on the side and the microphone, you can actually use this as a Bluetooth headset device, for lack of a better term, and you can just talk and listen to the call through your watch. So you don't even have to take your phone out of your pocket. You can make and receive your calls directly from the watch itself. And that goes for the tethering mode. And if you have a SIM card that does work on this phone, you can make and receive calls directly from the device without even tethering through your phone. This is going to be your call button that, this one obviously deletes when you make a mistake. And this will bring up your contact list, which I'm not going to bring up right now. Clicking on this icon, it brings us into our text messaging. So we can view messages that have come in, we can write new messages, we can get into our inbox and delete messages, forward them, just like you would expect with any messaging app. Tapping on names will bring you into your contact list. Again, I'm not going to bring that up. I don't want to show my contact list, but it's a pretty basic contact list. It shows you all your contacts. You can add, delete, whatever you want. Coming into the menu, it shows you the main menu of the device. And obviously, they copied the Apple look. I don't want to say they copied the Apple interface because it works completely differently than an Apple Watch or any other device. So it just has a similar look. You can scroll through your list of apps here. So going around the circle on the different screens, we have our Bluetooth that allows you to turn it on and off, or change the visibility of your Bluetooth. This button will allow you to control your Bluetooth music. Right now I'm not playing anything, so there's nothing to control. The next item will allow you to connect and disconnect from devices that you've paired with. This icon right here brings up a code, and what they want you to do is scan this code, which takes you to a web page, and you download a application that allows for the notifications to be pushed to your phone. I would recommend not doing this. This takes you out to some Chinese website that you download an APK and install on your phone. Obviously, it asks to make all kinds of permissions, so who knows what it's doing in the background. There is an application called BT Notification out on the Google Play Store that has all the same functionality. I think it's even the same app, just a kind of a legit distribution of it. So I would say don't use this one. Go out to the Google Play Store, download that BT Notification. I'm sorry, on an Apple device, I don't know what that would be. There's probably an equivalent application. If anybody knows, please put it in the comments for those users. This button is for the internal camera on the device. So you can see me behind the camera there, or behind the phone. And you just tap, take the picture. It saves it to the SD card, and you're off and running. Not very good, but in a pinch, it's not horrible either. This shows your call history. It's basically missed calls, dialed calls, received calls, whatever. It's a basic call history. This button here, I'm not going to tap on it because it doesn't work when I'm recording. I'm using the phone to record, but it's Find My Phone. So if you have lost your phone You can tap on that and it'll ping your phone as long as you're within Bluetooth range. This is a simple calendar, just shows you the current month, doesn't show you any of your appointments or anything. Going on to the next screen, this is a music app that lets you play music from the internal SD card. The microphone it lets you take voice notes that save right to the SD card on the watch. So that's kind of nice. The Facebook, WhatsApp, this Google Chrome, it's not Google Chrome, they just have the icon, and Twitter. These are all web apps. So it takes you to a scaled down version of the Facebook web app, WhatsApp web app, and Twitter web app. And then the Chrome icon is a browser, a mini browser. I couldn't get any of those to work. You need a SIM for those to work, and I couldn't get this watch to work with my SIM like I mentioned before. So I wasn't able to test those at all. As far as I know, they don't work, but you know, maybe there is a SIM out there that does work with this device. Coming into the settings, you have basic settings for the device. In your phone, you can go in and set your home city, the format for the date and time. You can set the date and time if you're not syncing with the device, schedule on and off times for the power, change your language, backlight settings, flight mode, the brightness. Profiles has a few set profiles that allow for different quick access to different settings for the phone. So general is all notifications on, basically. Silent is all notifications muted. Meeting is all notifications on vibrate. And outdoor is somewhere in between. You can actually go into these, go into customize, see what the different settings are, and modify them. So these are all modifiable. Security settings, you can set a security, phone or security for your device. Connectivity, I'm not really sure what normally shows in here because I have it connected right now and it's not showing anything in connectivity. So this may be something that shows when the, when the SIM card is inserted. And restore settings just does a factory restore on the device. Coming to the next page, this is a sedentary reminder. So you can come into here and tell it to remind you to, get up and go for a walk or stretch or do some kind of exercising every whatever interval you set. This icon, I can't do it right now because again, I'm recording on the phone, but what it does is it allows you to access the phone's camera. So you can see on the watch, you can see a display of what the phone camera sees and then tap on the screen on the watch and it takes a picture, on the phone. This is just a basic file manager for your SD card. This allows you to record your sleep. It doesn't do it automatically. You have to manually start it when you're going to bed and stop it when you wake up. And it's not too useful. It just tells you how long you slept and if it was restful or not. It doesn't give you a breakdown of how many hours were restful, how many hours or minutes were restless. It's just overall whether you had a good sleep or not. This allows you to set up to 4 or 5 alarms, and it's just a basic alarm, so you don't have to set the alarm on your watch or on your phone. You can just set it on the watch. This is a basic pedometer. It's start and stop, and that's it. It does actually work pretty well. I have a Garmin Vivo Active that I use as my regular watch. And the pedometer on here was actually within a pretty low percentage of, difference from where that Garmin was. So it actually works pretty well. This is your anti-lost option where you can set it if you get too far from your phone, your watch will vibrate to remind you that you've stepped away from your phone. And this one is the phone notifier. So as you get notifications into the device, this is your list of notifications that have been received. And then we're back to the main screen. Like I said, I would love to show you these web-based ones, but I can't because the SIM doesn't work. So let me go ahead and show you what it looks like when you receive notification, and then I will give you some of my thoughts for my usage. All right, so I got another phone queued up here, and I'm gonna go ahead and just send a quick text message. So we should see that pop up. So there it is. We can go ahead and view that message. It takes you to the notifier, and then you can get into the details on the message and view the text from the message. It doesn't work for MMS, so you can't see the pictures or anything, but you can see the text. And then you can go into the options and you can call the sender. You can delete or you can clear out the whole box. The one drawback is that you can't reply to the messages. You can go into the text message app. If we go onto the screen here, you can go in here and create a new message, but for some reason when a message comes in you can't reply. So I'm not sure why that was. I guess that was some design decision or maybe something that was left out. All the other notifications, you can get your notifications from, Facebook and Twitter, and if an app gets updated, you can get the notifications. Those are all configurable within the app on the phone. So that BT notification app that I mentioned, you go into there and you can set whatever notifications you want, and those will all come through the phone, and then you can go into that, the remote notifier, and they'll all show up in the list here, and you can come in here and delete them as you don't want them, or just clear them all out. That's about it as far as functionality. I'm gonna give you some of my thoughts on the device and then wrap up the review. Okay, so now the question of who is this watch right for? This watch would be good if you're somebody that wants a basic device that gives you notifications from your phone on your wrist. This also has the added advantage of it has that 0.3 megapixel front-facing camera. It's not real great quality, but in a pinch, it's it's something that you can use. Also, it gives you the ability to answer calls and make calls directly from your wrist, tethered through your phone, but you can actually hear them and respond from your wrist without ever taking the phone out of your pocket. You can also pair the watch with a Bluetooth headset and stream your music from the device. So if you go for a run or something, you can load this up with all your music, or as much as you can hold on the SD card, pair a Bluetooth headset to the watch, and then just leave your phone at home and go wherever you want listening to your music. That's actually really nice, and that actually worked pretty well. Who it's not for: if you're somebody that likes a lot of customization on your device, you'd like the option of being able to add additional watch faces, or you want to use this as a standalone device, it's not for you. There's zero customization, zero additional watch faces, and because I couldn't get the SIM to work with this, I was not able to test it as a standalone device, so I can definitely not recommend this for standalone use. For tethered, I actually can recommend it. I was actually really impressed with the functionality of an $18 smartwatch that I got off of Amazon with expedited shipping and everything. I think I had it in about 2 days, and it was 18 bucks, and it's not a bad device. I mean, for that basic functionality. And the one thing I really like is the micro SD charging, no proprietary charging. So there you go. Hopefully that you found that informative, helpful in making a decision. If you do decide to buy it, I would really request that you use the affiliate link that I have below in the description. It doesn't cost you anything else. If you're going to buy it on Amazon anyway, just click on that link, buy it. They give me a little bit of the sale toward my affiliate account, and any money I make as a result of this channel goes right back into the channel, so I can improve my equipment, maybe get a real camera instead of using my phone for the camera. So anything you could do to help me out there would be appreciated. I always appreciate comments and really appreciate subscribers. And if you have any suggestions for videos, I'd really appreciate those too, or suggestions on how I can make my videos better. Thanks so much for stopping by. Hope to see you next time, and visit us on the YouTube channel, the website technoformer.com, or we're on Twitter as well. Thanks so much.